In the U.S., stock index futures pointed to triple-digit gains at the open amid hopes of a potential breakthrough in trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. At around 4:55 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow futures rose 99 points, indicating a high implied open of 113 points. The Nasdaq and the S&P 500 futures also indicated an upbeat start to the session for their respective markets. The moves in pre-market trade followed comments from President Donald Trump over the weekend in which he pledged to help Chinese technology firm ZTE Corporation to get back into business fast after a U.S. ban had significantly hampered the Asian company. Meanwhile, more earnings are scheduled to be released in the U.S. Nissan is poised to release its latest figures before the opening bell, while Invitation Homes and Switch were among the major firms set to report earnings later in the session. No major economic data are scheduled to be published today. In Asia, markets closed higher, with the Malaysian stocks recovering after dropping at the open as markets reopened following an election. In Tokyo, the Nikkei 225 firmed 0.47% to close at 22,865 points, and the broader topics edged up by 0.61%. The real estate sub-index advanced to 3.1%, while mining stocks finished the session lower. Elsewhere, the Kospi raised early gains to close down 0.06% at 2,476 points, with heavyweight Samsung Electronics declining 2.34% and weighing on the index. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index jumped 1.04%, while mainland markets closed mixed, with the Shanghai Composite rising 0.34% to 3,174 points, while the Shenzhen Composite shed 0.1%. In Australia, the S&P ASX 200 drifted higher by 0.31% to close at 6,135 points as the energy and materials sectors led gains on the index. And back here in Africa, Zimbabwe's central bank has stopped local banks from trading or processing payments linked to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, but stopped short of banning local cryptocurrency trading exchanges. In the Southern African nation, those who trade in Bitcoin say it offers rare protection as their bank deposits lose value almost by the day, while others use it to fund family members studying abroad or purchase goods online. On GoLeaks.com, the largest of only two trading platforms for virtual currencies, Bitcoin was trading at $12,400 today. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor John Mangudaya, however, said in a statement that the central bank had not licensed anyone to trade in virtual currencies and that dealers and investors did not have the protection of the law. Prices of digital currencies such as Bitcoin rocketed at the end of last year as retail investors across the globe scrambled to get a piece of the profits. That triggered regulatory warnings and threats to crack down on the market. And South African mobile phone operator Vodacom Group disappointed investors with lower than expected full-year earnings and a cut in its dividend payout. The company, owned by Britain's Vodafone, blamed a one-off hit from its purchase of a stake in Kenya's Safaricom for the disappointing earnings, which missed analyst estimates and sent its shares down nearly 4% in Johannesburg. Vodacom acquired a 35% stake in Safaricom last year as part of a move by its British parent to consolidate two of its African interests. It said today its earnings for the year to March 31 were weighed down by shares issued to acquire the Safaricom stake, but the one-time effect had now been observed. Headline earnings per share, the main profit measure in South Africa that strips out certain one-off items, was 923 cents, unchanged from a year earlier and falling short of analysts' estimate of 927 cents. However, South Africa's biggest mobile phone operator said full-year revenue rose 6.3% to 86.37 billion rand as it added more customers and sold more smartphones in its domestic market. And Lonmin has narrowed its first half operating loss and lowered its spending target for the year as a platinum miner prepared for a merger with Zimbabwe. The London-listed miner, which is being bought by Zimbabwe, reported a first half operating loss of $32 million compared with a loss of $181 million a year earlier. It lowered its full-year capital expenditure target to 1.2 to 1.3 billion rand from 1.4 to 1.5. Net cash at the end of March fell to $17 million from $75 million a year earlier and from $63 million at the end of December. A stronger rand is also hobling Lumni's efforts to meet its target as its costs are in rand while platinum is priced in dollars. And after selling $2 billion of Eurobonds, Ghana will prioritize lowering its interest burden and raising revenue to make sure it can continue to service debt. This is according to the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. The nation sold the securities on Thursday at the lowest rate this year for a sub-Saharan African country whose credit assessment is at B, the fifth highest junk assessment at S&P Global Ratings and Fitch Ratings Limited. The sale came after the West African economy grew at the fastest pace in 5 years in 2017 and met fiscal targets under an International Monetary Fund program, which the country entered 3 years ago when a weakening currency and high budget deficits rendered its debt unaffordable. Still to come, the United Nations Population Council highlights the potentials of demographic dividend. Details in a moment. Just stay with us.